Welcome everyone to the Season 30 ISFL Draft. Welcome everyone. We are really excited that you've joined us here today to find out where all of the awesome DSFL players are going to be ending up in the big leagues in the ISFL. And I am Mojo Jojo, your host for this evening, and also here as a very new GM to the Sarasota Sailfish. And I am joined by a great crew here tonight, and I'm going to pass it to each of them to introduce themselves. So, Cody, take it away.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Cody. I'm one of the GMs of the Philadelphia Liberty, and I like to party. That's it. That's all I got.
Hey guys, I'm Fly. I'm one of the GMs for the Yellowknife race, and I'm pretty excited.
Hello, I am Sid, the GM of Honolulu. We have a bunch of picks this draft, so I'm looking forward to getting everyone to join our locker room and have some fun this draft.
Hey guys, I'm CC, GM of the Chicago Butchers. My former player was Tyron Shields, who just retired, and I have a player in this draft class, and I'm curious where he's going to end up.
And I'm Roche, one of the GMs for the New York Silverbacks and linebacker Jack Banks. Oh yeah, and we won the Ultimus this year.
Yay.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off in the Season 30 ISFL Draft. And first up, we have Baltimore. So take it away, Cody.
All right, with the first overall pick in the Season 30 ISFL Draft, the Baltimore Hawks select Sheriff Woody, linebacker from the Tijuana Luchadors, user Tom Hanks. Got a couple notes from the GMs here. Frick said, so this may be a left field pick for those that know my background. TH is one of the users I first made friends with 2 years ago as part of the Season 15 class. We were rivals when we were both GMs for NOLA and Colorado. When we finally recreated, I thought, well, shit, how would I be able to draft my friend? He's linebacker. The other GM, Hall, said Tom Hanks has very small potatoes, and we only drafted him so they were able to mock him more. He's also commissioner of the DSFL. So, good pick here. Not surprising, I would say, to most people. I think this is mocked in a lot of people's drafts.
Yeah, pretty much.
For sure.
I mean, if you have the chance to grab like a commissioner and old GM and just a top earner in general, then you can't pass on that.
Sorry, Who's Tom Hanks?
Yeah, he's one of the veterans of the league. Great guy. Great to talk to.
Sid, you have muted yourself and you are up.
All right, with the second overall pick, Honolulu selects Miles Weperome, a safety from Norfolk. So pretty much this is like one of the users that I've known for like a really long time. He was like one of the first Sim League people I've ever talked to. He's a really nice user. He's told me multiple times that he's wanted to play here. And too bad we couldn't get him first overall because I know he wanted the double first overalls. But I'm still pretty happy to take him.
So, funny story. I sat down and talked to him, and literally as soon as he responded back with his answers, I said, "Well, you're never going to make it to us." It was really nice talking to you and getting to know you better.
I think he has a 20 TP lead on his class right now. So pretty impressive from there.
Very impressive.
Yeah, definitely a great pick.
All right. With the third pick in the ISFL Draft, the Chicago Butchers select cornerback Jason Garcia-Parra, user Starboy. Starboy is an absolutely fantastic user. We were really hoping he'd be here our pick, but we were afraid that he could even go at 1 overall or especially 2 overall with his former player being a member of the Kahalua for a little while. We were ecstatic when word started spreading that 1 and 2 were going to be Tom Hanks and Flex, and we were just hoping that nobody changed their mind. He similar to me, had a famously unlucky player on his last go-around, so we're really hoping that he has more luck on this one.
But yeah, Starboy is another one. Like for sure, we considered him for second overall, and I'm super happy that he got to go right after it. But in our locker room, even after retiring, he's still been active to this day, and he's just a really nice user to have there.
Well, I hope he leaves and spends all of his time in Chicago. Okay. With the fourth pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select wide receiver Vincent Sharpay Jr., user Muford. Normally I'd talk about how much of a bum Muford is right about now, but I think that selecting Starboy one pick ahead of him is punishment enough. For those that don't know, he was the former GM of Chicago, and him and Bailey were the duo that drafted me back in S22. So it's really cool and really kind of weird having the roles reversed now, drafting him. But I'm super happy to bring him back to the team to bully me relentlessly for at least another 10 seasons or so. We know exactly what he brings to the table, and we can't wait to see him back in the Butchers Black and Red. Also, everyone go follow Muford at twitch.tv/Muford.
Nice plug.
Yeah, very good plug.
He'll appreciate that.
Twitch shout out. All right.
It's me again. With the fifth pick in the ISFL draft, the Austin Copperheads select defensive end Io Torrent, user SkinDog44. Austin says SkinDog was high on our board from the start, and he never moved from there. He's obviously a max earner, but he stands out to them in many more ways than just that. He's opted to do videos for media as opposed to the standard formats. He's a locker room leader in Dallas and has the potential to be a valuable leader for Austin in the future. And they're excited for him to anchor their defense for many seasons to come.
I know I had a great conversation with Io as well, and I knew there was no chance. They were getting down to 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had Bailey and Painted both advocating for him at 11 if he somehow slipped there.
I know that I've been like kind of looking around the locker rooms, and I saw like the videos, and they're like very nicely done. And like you said, it's like a unique type of media form, so it's interesting from them.
Yeah, I think he was really high on a lot of people's draft boards, and so not surprising to see him go here on the fifth pick. And I think Austin's got a great user and player for many seasons to come.
All right, so with the sixth pick overall, the San Jose SaberCats select Konstantin Selik, user Toman. CK had this to say: Toman's a user who I've known for a very long time, going back to our early days in SHL. He's always been a very strong earner pretty much everywhere, and we're excited to bring the franchise's first ever draft pick back home.
What a nice render there, too, as someone who's completely unbiased.
I will say that if Toman would have fallen to us, that would have been a very tough person to pass on, since we had Toman's last player in Yellowknife, and we love Toman to death. So I'm happy for him to get picked so early here, for sure.
Awesome.
All right, so with the seventh pick in the ISFL draft, the Orange County Otters select Domino's Pizza Man, DT, user MattBake12, and I talked to Blasoon, and he sent over some notes. So he said, it's no secret that OCO is in the market for a DT, and this pick comes highly recommended from Goat Tank. I also had the pleasure of chatting with Matt myself, and they really give off an energy that they're looking to dive headfirst into the league. They've already gotten themselves an updater job, which is incredible, and we really can't wait to see them in our locker room and see how well they do in Orange.
Yeah, this wasn't surprising. I figured between San Jose and Orange County it'd be back-to-back D-tackle picks. They both needed to bolster the line a bit, and they got two good users, so good for them.
Matt was pretty high on our board as well, given our ties to Bondi and his GMs there. I'm not surprised to see him go as high as he did, for sure. And with pick 8, the Yellowknife race select Dustin Parmalee, quarterback from the London Royals, user DP420. Parm personally reached out to me around week 3 of the season and began asking, what do I have to do to become a Wraith? And that was the start of a lot of conversations, and the closer that we got to the draft, the more that we thought he'd be an amazing fit for our locker room. When we brought him in before the draft, the War Room fell in love with him, and we're happy to have someone like him to carry on the lineage of great quarterbacks in Yellowknife.
A lineage of great London quarterbacks in Yellowknife. So as a former London Royal, we're really excited to see Parm go at pick 8 to Yellowknife. I think he's going to be extremely happy to join your team, Fly, and it's just really exciting to see him continuing to develop. I think you guys have got a great one for many years to come.
If I'm not mistaken,
just won most dedicated member DSFL, I believe.
Absolutely.
Right? Yep, always those. I don't think one's failed for most dedicated member. Those guys are usually all great users.
All right, I believe I'm up again. At number 9, the New Orleans second line select. I'm really not sure.
Squidward Tentacles.
Oh, there it is. All right. Squidward Tentacles. User is Terrible Hippo. I knew that it was Terrible Hippo. I just could not remember his name to save my life. Hippo is a great user and a user from season 15. And a director reached out to me this afternoon and said that this pick was a no-brainer and it was an obvious choice. He's a future Hall of Famer, and with Ed Barker getting old, we need a young wide receiver to follow in his footsteps. And who's better than one of NOLA's all-time greats in Terrible Hippo?
And the render's dynamite.
Fantastic. Love it.
All right, with the 10th overall pick, Colorado selects wide receiver Jason Waterfalls. So I do have some notes for Colorado for this. When we were planning out our next draft, JY was one of those, man, he'd be great, but he'll never fall to us picks. Then picks started coming in, and he was still on the board, and it suddenly became Colorado's turn, and it was an absolute no-brainer. JY is a staple in other siblings, and is someone that we will know will earn well and be a great member in our locker room. He's already shown some prowess, dropping a massive 17,000-word article. Yet another reason he was shocked. We were shocked he fell to us, but we were so excited to bring you into Colorado, Jay.
Yeah, this guy was up on a lot of mock boards, and I know Philadelphia, we had talked about if we were at number 3, who would want to pick probably, and this guy was at the top of our boards. We were shocked that he fell down this far, and Colorado got an absolute steal here.
Yeah, we were watching him in Sarasota, just amazed and thinking, like, you know, that is there some off chance he might actually slide to us, and no chance whatsoever, as you might imagine, and pick 10 is just fantastic.
Of course, the Yeti get another gem in the draft.
Player name too.
Great.
Yeah,
name.
love it. Anytime it's a pun of some sort or something, it's always got my grade A.
With the 11th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Chicago Butchers select tight end Nick L. Back, user Zune. Zune is a rock star of a user. Just look at this photograph of his render. Beautiful. Some people may think this is a reach, but this is far away from that. Zune and I had a fantastic scouting conversation, and I just thought to myself, this is how you remind me that you're a first-round talent. This league is in trouble because now that we have Zune, we're going to burn it to the ground. Even if all of our other picks are busts, this one is going to be the one that's saving me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can we just look at this photograph?
I know I just said I love puns, but God, I take it back. I take it all back. Right here.
Yeah, I couldn't decide if I loved that or hated that. But well done either way.
I want to apologize to all of our listeners.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
Oh my God.
And
Make it stop.
on.
Yes, move on, please, for the love of God.
All right. With the 12th overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Calvin Hobbs, wide receiver from Portland Pythons, user Krasgo. I am so excited to be able to keep our recent Portland pipeline alive. Actually, Slate, ABH, and myself are all in the London war room, and London really wanted him in the DSFL draft and never got the chance. So we're really happy to get a second chance to draft him and to bring him into Sarasota. He's really invested in the league, was a nominee for DSFL MDM, already has a league job as a backup updater. And by far and away, we just love his sense of humor and feel it will fit in nicely with our quirky locker room antics. Welcome to Sarasota, Krasco.
Him and Schwartz also showed the league today how to be useful on the website, and I appreciate both of them for doing so.
Dedication right there.
Absolutely.
All right, so with the 13th pick in the ISFL draft, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select wide receiver Mason Malone. I've got some notes here from DeWalt about this pick. He says, I have had the pleasure to scout Kinney multiple times over their sim league career for the ISFL. Every time I scout Kinney, he impresses me more. This season, I've had the pleasure of being their teammate in Minnesota, and I'm not sure if anyone is more hyped for the Ultimate than Kinney, who spent lots of time in the locker room getting everyone psyched for the game. We look forward to having a person who will bring such a positive energy and excitement to our team, along with their extremely high earning potential.
So I'm going to do a thing here. I want to give a shout out to Russ really quickly and the guys down in Minnesota, because they put together an amazing team. And in terms of Kenny, he was probably like our number 2 on the board. We just have a need at quarterback, so we needed to go with Parm, and we loved him as well. But a great pick here for Berlin.
Yeah.
1,500 yards, too. Nice. All right, and with the 14th pick in the ISFL draft, your Ultimates champion New York Silverbacks trade the pick.
Yes, they have traded to the Baltimore Hawks. So Baltimore receives New York's round 1 pick 14th overall, and New York receives Baltimore season 30 round 3 pick, which is the 29th pick, and cornerback Lawrence Miller, user overdue. You want to talk about this trade at all?
Yeah, so just from our end, we definitely feel like we have kind of a window right now. We've got a lot of users close to or at kind of a max TPE, and we felt like adding overdue into the mix would be kind of more impactful for us in the short term as we kind of try to extend this window. And he also is Zan's SHL GM, I believe, so we have a connection there as well, and we're really excited to bring him in. We're happy to have him as a Silverback.
All right, with that then, the 14th pick, the Baltimore Hawks select Pepe Legs Johnson, offensive lineman from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, user Golden Apricot. All this to say about Apricot: a great person to have in our locker room and a player at a position of need. Apricot will be the beginning of our new offensive line moving forward, as well as another great personality. I've talked to Golden Apricot just a little bit. He was my fantasy manager in one of the last few seasons, and he's a good guy. Good guy, very communicative, so it should be a good pick here for Baltimore. And the render's fantastic.
Yeah, that render by Musi, just absolutely fantastic. For those who are tuning in, do look into the top left corner to recognize all of the fantastic graphic artists that are putting together the renders and the draft cards for the draft. Just fantastic work, really makes the experience so wonderful.
Yeah, they've all done an amazing job. Props to them.
All right, and I will continue on. We're getting into the second round here with the 15th pick in the season 30 ISFL draft. The Baltimore Hawks select Fuzzy George from the Minnesota Grey Ducks, user Good Fortune, safety. All I had to say, Fuzzy and I came into the league together in season 18 and played together in Philadelphia for most of our careers. We replaced a retiring Jeremiah Zelos, who is Hall's user, and be another great user to add to the locker room. being in Philadelphia, we had Fuzzy on our team forever, one of the all-time greats. We were hoping he might fall into the third round, but we figured he'd probably be taken early in the second, which happened here. So Baltimore got a great pick. Good fortune. He's just all-around great guy.
Yeah, we're going to do a deep dig into my short history here. And when I first joined the league on waivers in the DSFL, Good Fortune Coffee was my updater and would leave such nice little notes at the end of an update, which was just a really nice personal touch, and I think really shows just the kindness that he brings to the league as a user. And I think that this is going to be a really great pick for Baltimore going forward. Sid?
All right. Yeah, with the 16th overall pick, Honolulu selects Titan from Norfolk, Salami from user GBEC. The fact that 2 minutes after we picked Salami, we were messaged by 2 users telling us how good the pick was, and then later on even getting a trade offer to really just show how valuable he is. I was personally the one that scouted him for Honolulu, and I had a great scouting conversation over there. And honestly, out of all the picks we had this draft, this was the first pick that we really locked in, and we knew we were going to take him if he was available with our second round pick. Just happy that we were able to get him.
Yeah, I'll just echo in my conversations with GBEC as well. They were fantastic, and I think he's going to do big things in the league.
Yeah, I'm using my skill card on this one.
Yeah, I think you're hearing that a lot of teams really wanted him. I know I didn't have the pleasure of scouting him, but my co-GM Frost did, and Frost was just really high up on him in the war room, really enjoyed his conversation with him, and just was super excited about him. So I think Honolulu's really gotten a great user and player here.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually one of the people that did reach out to Sid right after they selected him. So great pick.
The other one would be me.
Here we go. So with the 17th pick in the season 30 ISFL draft, the Arizona Outlaws select offensive lineman Bernie Sanders from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, user Caltroit Red Flames. Cal is a respected Sim League veteran. Here I'm reading notes from GM Crunk of the Arizona Outlaws. They were pleasantly surprised in scouting when he said he would be interested in coming to Arizona, and they were really surprised when he fell to them in the second round. Bernie Sanders projects as a top-tier offensive lineman, and though he has seen most of his action on the left, I dream of a day when he lines up as a center. Bad politics puns aside, we are super happy with this pick and looking forward to welcoming Sanders to the desert. So congratulations, Cal. Really hope you enjoy Arizona.
The fact that they didn't use the render where he has his big mittens on is pretty disappointing, but I'll take it.
Fair rubs.
Okay, with the 18th pick in the draft, the Chicago Butchers select to trade.
So I'm reading for Colorado. So Colorado receives 18th overall pick, and then Chicago receives 24th overall, and then Colorado's season 31 second rounder. So from what I understand, Chicago has their GM player this draft, which means they have to take them. So trading back in the draft really doesn't have them losing anything. And Colorado had a prospect that they believed in, so they traded up for them.
So let's find out who that prospect is.
With the 18th overall pick, Colorado selects Lacarpetron Duke Marriott, linebacker. I think this scouting season we had the funniest interaction with Duke Marriott. It definitely became a memorable moment, and the jokes of draft to span became the truth. We were nervous as we saw the various players being picked early in the second round here, and we are thankful to have traded up for this shuckle-loving guy. Welcome to Colorado, Duke Marriott.
Love
Another fantastic render. Yep.
Yeah, love Shuckle. Perfect defense.
I think this is CC.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
With the 19th pick in the draft, the Austin Copperheads select wide receiver Cliff Burton, user the last Heraclid, if I'm saying that right. Going into the second round, Austin knew that they wanted a pass catcher, and Heraclid stuck out right away as a great option on the board. As a longtime SHL user, he's no stranger to sim leagues and knows how to earn well, but also gives off positive locker room vibes with his game day contributions and amazing food pictures in Dallas. Austin is very excited to have him aboard.
Fantastic. All right.
All right. With the next pick in the second round, number 20 overall, SJS selects the Laz, user C9 Van from the Portland Pythons. CK said, Van's another guy I've known for a little while, more so recently after sharing a locker room with him in PBE. Another strong earner across multiple leagues and a steady locker room presence. We expect nothing less from him this time around. I would have to echo that for CK. I know that Laz is a great dude. He spent a lot of time in Yellowknife, and we would have loved to have brought him back. So congrats for SJS.
Yeah, I had a good conversation with Van as well. I think he's going to do big things this year. All right, and then with the 21st pick in the draft, the Orange County Otters select Tron Carter, running back, user Revolution 5. I've got some more notes from Blasoon here. He says, Rev is someone we knew we wanted back since they retired. Personally, Rev did so much to help me fit into OCO when I joined there. It's only fitting that I make sure he finds his way back. He's truly an incredible team player. We've got big plans for him, and we can't wait to bring him back.
Huge surprise.
Another fantastic render as well.
Yeah, I had Rev for an updater for a while, and he was always prompt, and you had to communicate anything with him. He was quick to respond. Good guy.
All right, so with pick 22, the Yellowknife race select Stuart Hellraiser. And that will be user Oilman Dan. The funny thing about Oilman is that I had to search for a while to get in touch with him. I'd heard some good things about him from Flex, and then luckily Flex helped me get in touch with him by sending me to another server in the EFL. As soon as I started talking to him, I thought he'd be a great fit for Yellowknife, and we really think he's done a great job of earning after joining a little later than others in his class. So welcome to the team.
Yeah, Dan is another person that I've known for like almost 2 years from just sim leagues, and really great guy. And I was excited when I saw him join the league. Too bad we couldn't get him, but I'm sure he'll be happy in Yellowknife.
I think it's a fitting player name, the last name with the team as well. It matches up well.
We mute you.
With pick number 23 in the second round, New Orleans second line selects Rex Crenshaw, Taco Shop, tight end from the Tijuana Luchadors. Director said that Taco Shop is our second pick in this draft, and he's a great guy that I've gotten to know as a teammate of mine in PBE for the San Antonio Sloths. He's going to slide perfectly in as our second fullback, and then our second tight end and fullback, and then fullback will be great help for us next year in our running game, especially when we start a rookie quarterback.
Great. This is a great pick. We really liked Taco Shop also.
Yeah, we had some people in the war room who were talking about him if he happened to fall to the third round. It'd be a huge boon for us. Didn't happen. And his username just fits in so well with the Taco Bell gang in Liberty.
Moosey did a great job on that render as well.
Yeah.
Okay, with the 24th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Chicago Butchers select to trade again
What a surprise. So New Orleans will trade here for this pick. They get the season 30 round 2, which is pick 24, and a season 30 round 3, which is pick 41. And Chicago is going to get Nola's round 2 at number 28 and a season 30 round 3 at pick 37. And with this pick, Nola will select Rocco Blade, the user Aka from the Portland Pythons defensive end. Director said that Rocca is going to slide in perfectly at defensive end, and we can also slide him inside at defensive tackle, a spot that we found is very important to the success of our defense. They're very excited to have him in New Orleans. So welcome.
Yeah, we were pretty sad to see Nola trade up here. We knew that Chicago would probably be trading down again, but we had our eyes on Aka. I think he's a really great pickup for New Orleans, and so congratulations going here in the draft. And with the 25th pick of the ISFL Draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Richard Mancher from the Dallas Bird Dogs, safety, user Fresh Phil. Phil scouted really well for us and was making an impact across multiple sim leagues. Although since the draft, he's actually quit all of those leagues. So Crunk just says we wish him all the best and we hope he returns to the ISFL community at some point. It's really sad to see such a great prospect needing to leave the league, but when real life things happen, sometimes that's just the way that it goes, and we really do hope that Fresh Phil is doing well, and when life circumstances allow, will return to us. We know that there'd be many teams that would be happy to have him.
Absolutely. I've seen this a few times, league, where these high picks just, for whatever reason bail out, and just hope they're doing okay in real life. And like we always say, real life comes first.
Absolutely. And with the 26th pick in the Season 30 ISFL Draft, Sarasota selects a trade.
Honolulu receives the 26th overall pick, and Sarasota receives pick number 30 and Honolulu's Season 31 third rounder. So we ended up trading up. We had a prospect in mind since the beginning of the draft that we wanted to get, and we were a little afraid with how the draft was going that they wouldn't end up falling to us. So we decided to contact every team that was picking near this part of the second round, and Sarasota ended up being open to trade. So we managed to make it work.
Yeah, we're really excited about this trade. I think it's good value for us, and we're also really happy to see this Honolulu player returning home. So I won't spoil it anymore. Sid, go ahead and announce your pick.
With the 26th overall pick, Honolulu selects Hex Aqua Kikian from user Hexify linebacker. I don't think this pick is a surprise to anyone if you paid attention to mock drafts or just Honolulu in general, but he's one of my favorite users, and he really started that locker room culture that we have tried to keep on, and it wouldn't be right if he ended up playing for any other team. I know he wanted to come back here, and we managed to get his wish to come true.
I think it's
Oh, go ahead.
I think it's just really, it's always nice to be able to see a player go to the team that they have a strong connection with. Not everyone wants to play again for the same team. Some people like some variety, but I think that this is really a match made in heaven. So it was exciting that Sarasota could be a part of it in a little ways.
And there's no way this prospect could fall past the second round.
Yeah, I'm really loving these renders for Honolulu lately too. Like I kind of want to play her in Honolulu just to get the jersey render and all that.
The colors do look pretty fresh. So this one is by Seymour Snatches. So shout out Seymour, this is really lovely.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, and with the 27th pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Bradley Welch, wide receiver, user Dolphins. And I got some notes here from DeWalt about this pick. He said, I have the opportunity to scout Dolphins from Minnesota a few days before the DSFL draft started. Given the short amount of time to scout them, we had a great conversation, and it was easy to tell they would be an excellent user in the league. Now that I have the opportunity to draft him, we are very excited to have him on the team. He's a great guy, and he was very active in the London locker room.
Yeah, I can speak from my experience in the London locker room. Actually, just earlier today, I think Dolphins posted that one of his top ISFL destinations was Berlin. So no leaks. Everyone who knew the outcome of the draft was super hyped for him. Dolphins, if you're listening, I hope you're just super excited. That's a great group to be headed to, and I think you're going to do great things as a Fire Salamander.
With the 28th pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select tight end D. Walt, user the CC. I'm sure that everyone in the stream chat is screaming reach right about now, and I can't say I disagree too much with him. For anyone who doesn't know, like Sid mentioned earlier, this is my player, and GMs are required to pick themselves with their earliest second-round pick, which is why you saw us trade back a couple of times to try to get as much value as we could before we had to pick my player.
And we all know that your player is not value.
Yep. Bust.
Well, you got to take what you can get. Oh my goodness, I just noticed the Noah and Nick added the picture of me over on the side in reflection. Nice.
Some quality detail here on your draft card.
Yep.
All right, and that brings us to the third round. And
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, so this pick, we had traded back from the 14th pick in our trade with Baltimore that included Overdue, and we traded back into the third round. And with the 29th pick, the New York Silverbacks trade the pick again.
Yeah, so New York has yet to make a draft pick, but Sarasota is happy to take it. So in this trade, we're actually trading one of our beloved users, Stephen O'Sullivan, who's wide receiver Joseph Radetsky. We just have a lot of wide receivers and brought in a big free agent signing in Jackson Kingston this past offseason, and just didn't feel like we could give Radetsky the stats that he deserved. I know that he's going to be a clear receiver in the roster for New York. You just have a better fit for him, and so I really think this is a win-win situation for player and team. And so while we are loath to trade away actives, we're really excited to see what Radetsky can do in New York.
Yeah, and just from New York's perspective, we do very much so miss Davey. We miss Jackson Kingston. But we are super excited to get Stephen O'Sullivan, Joseph Radetsky here on the team. Tug Speedman is going to take over as our number one, and I think Radetsky is going to plug in potentially as our number two, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities, and we're really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, so this means that Sarasota has the 29th and the 30th picks, so the first two in the third round. And with our first of those picks, we're going to select running back Miracle Whip from the Tijuana Luchadors, user T-Bone54. I had the great pleasure of scouting T-Bone this offseason and just really enjoyed his energy, his honesty in answering the questions. And I'm willing to overlook the fact that he was recruited and is friends with Kotasa. So T-Bone, welcome to Sarasota. We are really excited to have you on the team, and we are looking forward to getting to know you better.
I remember when you put this pick in, I DM'd you and was like, you jerk. we were hoping he's going to fall a couple more picks to Philadelphia there, but yeah, we really liked our conversation with T-Bone, and he was high up on our boards, and We hope we can sneak him into the early third round, but you guys got a good user there.
And with the 30th pick in the ISFL draft, Sarasota selects linebacker don't draft from the Portland Pythons, user Unicorn. Now, I know that your player name is don't draft, but we didn't listen to you. So we've traded down into the third round, and we got a ton of value here. You can't pass up the opportunity to pick an experienced recreate, especially a user that has a Hall of Fame player at this point in the draft. He's solid earning on his third player and brings some much needed youth into our somewhat aging defensive squad. So we're really excited to bring Unicorn onto the team and to continue the tradition of strong linebackers in Sarasota.
All right. Finally, it's Philadelphia's time to shine. So with the 31st pick in the ISFL draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Jax Baker, running back from the Portland Pythons, user Pancakes. We actually made a lot of attempts to trade up into the second round. I think we contacted like 3 teams trying to trade up a little bit. That's how badly we wanted Pancakes. She's a terrific user and it's looking to be a great value pick here in the third. In all my conversations with her, she has been nothing but wonderful. She expects to be very, very active in the league. We were super excited to get her. We're going to pair her with 40 Boy on the offensive line, I believe. And they're going to be protecting Nags for the future to come.
Really happy for you guys. I actually, I believe I messaged Pat before the draft after I spoke with Pancakes, and I said, please take this person. And they were really scared. You guys were really scared that she wasn't going to make it to you. I'm happy that she did for you.
Yeah, when we saw Sarasota stockpile a couple picks early in the third, we're like, oh no.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with Pancakes. She's a wonderful user, and I know that she wanted to go to Philadelphia, and if we can, we're going to respect that wish of a user. And so I'm just really happy to see Philadelphia get the pick in here. I was surprised to see how long it took you guys to post this pick, because I was pretty sure that this was who was coming. But I know you had a second one to contend with as well.
Yeah. So we had back-to-back picks here. So with the 32nd pick in the season 30 ISFL draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Kiera Tano, running back from the London Royals, user Takamori 152. We cannot believe how lucky we were to have an outstanding prospect like Taka Faldos here in the third round. Through our conversation, we could tell that she was very motivated to be involved in the league. She already has a job on the contest team and hoping to find one as a grader as well. She's working to be the best she can as both a player and user. Really friendly during chats, and I think she'll be a nice fit in the locker room since we're fairly similar to London, where she comes from, and she mentioned she had enjoyed it there. She recently cleaned up in the Season 29 DSFL award. She won Offensive Performance of the Year, Running Back of the Year, and Offensive Rookie of the Year. We were just shocked that they were available.
Yeah, this is a really strong pick for where you are in the draft right now, and Tano has been a powerhouse for London, and I'm sure will continue to be so for Philadelphia going forward.
Yeah, I was going to say great value pick here.
Yeah, absolutely. We are ecstatic.
All right. With the 33rd pick in the ISFL draft, the Austin Copperheads select tight end Travis Scott, user Unconfident69. Austin sent me some notes and said, Unconfident is an amazing person to be able to pick up in the third round. Our scout had an amazing conversation with him during the scouting process, and we know he will be an instant locker room fit. Unconfident joined the league at about the latest point possible to be included in this draft, and from that point on has very quickly taken to the league and earned extremely well. For us, this is one of the steals of the draft, and we can't wait to have him on the pitch for Austin as our future tight end.
Yeah, this was a really interesting class with a number of people that joined and were picked up on teams off of waivers, and so you couldn't just look at sort of their TPE. You had to sort of look at the combination of their TPE and when they had actually joined into the league. And I definitely think there's a lot of value in this pick for Austin here. And also, I want to just point out the incredible level of detail with the Austin logo stuck behind the chain here on his shirt. So another shout out to Moosey and the great draft graphics we're getting tonight.
Moosey!
This is the guy. This guy has a burger at McDonald's, right?
It's a Cactus Jack burger. Come on, man.
Oh, sorry. I'm not as well versed in McDonald's burgers as you.
I was figuring it was going to be the old dad joke. All right. So, number 34 overall, SJS selects Andy Fontouz, which is lowly crib, wide receiver from the Kansas City Coyotes. CK said this one may seem like a foregone conclusion to some, but we definitely weren't expecting him to fall to us here. His last player is the franchise all-time leader in games played, having spent 12 seasons with us, and we're absolutely thrilled to keep him in the SaberCat green.
And then I believe with the 35th pick, the Orange County Otters have traded the pick.
Yeah, so they traded their season 30 round 3 pick to Baltimore, and Baltimore gave Orange County their season 31 round 3 pick. So with the 35th pick in the season 30 ISFL draft, the Baltimore Hawks select Madison Beer, offensive lineman from Minnesota Grey Ducks, user Bauer. Bauer will be the second member of our new offensive line and hopefully be a solid right tackle, opposite of Apricot. Bauer has a long history in the ISFL and is loved by many in the locker room. Like Mojo said earlier, we were kind of sitting there for a while with back-to-back picks in the third because this is another user we really wanted. So we're having a lot of discussions about, who we should grab, 31 and 32, and then if we could try to trade back up for Bauer, which we tried to do but weren't able to. So Baltimore got a good user here.
I just like the visual of Bauer's render just holding down the right side of the line, too.
Exactly.
All right. So with pick number 36, the Yellowknife Wraiths select Owen Reed, cornerback from the Minnesota Grey Ducks, user Nylar the Phoenix. A lot of folks might not know that Nylar, or might not know Nylar, but he's someone that's been around since at least season 15 when I joined the league. He had a Hall of Fame career in OCO, if I recall correctly, and we hope that he will do the same thing here for us in Yellowknife as a part of an already talented secondary. I had great conversations with Nylar, so I was pretty stoked that he ended up falling to us here.
With the 37th pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select running back Yaji Robe, user Jeffy43. I cannot believe Jeffy was available here. We'd actually been trying to trade up with every team for like the last 5 picks or so to get him. He's been an awesome user in the league for a while now. He had a great last player who got, I believe, into the 1400s in TPE. If he had more TPE, he, in my opinion, undoubtedly would have been a first-round pick in this class. He told me before the draft that he was just taking it a little easier than he did on his last player, taking a little break. But I would also like to point out the fact that he just put in a 40 TPE update. You love to see it.
Yeah, Jeffy's great. I remember talking to him when I first joined the league prior to the ISFL draft, and really had me sold on Orange County at the time, and I was really hoping to get drafted there because he's such a nice guy to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. Great user.
Okay. With the 30th overall pick, Colorado selects Clifford Wilson, offensive lineman from Norfolk. Bongo. We couldn't be happier to have Bongo in Colorado. He's young, full of energy, and it just is such a great addition to any locker room. Always a team player. We knew that if Bongo here at this pick, that it was him. We can't wait for Bongo to become one of our future offensive linemen and to become a great player of the Yeti future.
Shout out to Bongo. I had many conversations with him as well.
Okay, with the 39th pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select kicker Levy Tate, user Sloths1. This is one of my favorite renders in the entire league.
Oh my.
Uh,
I have not seen this one.
so this pick shouldn't be a surprise to many. Sloths is a new user who was recruited by her boyfriend, Painted, who is a butcher as well. We have a need in a couple of seasons at kicker, and we thought it would be cool to get Painted's better half on our team. She also just got a job as an updater, even though Painted told her that she shouldn't apply because there was no way she was going to get it.
Shows him. All right, we're going to move on from this beautiful render.
Can we just look at it a couple more minutes, maybe?
That's my new background.
And with the 40th pick, the Orange County Otter select Sinbio Corin, linebacker, user Scory Corey. And let's see. Blasoon says Corey is another alum who's been pretty pivotal to OCO's history. With him being free here, we knew it would be great to get him back. We got to discussing long-term plans, and we're sure that he'll be great for us.
I also enjoy that render. Horn's awesome.
All right, with pick number 41, New Orleans selects CMC's burner, user Mr. Goat 1246 from Tijuana. Director honestly didn't get me any notes over on CMC. He was trying to catch a plane when he was sending me his notes over. So, welcome to New Orleans, Mr. Goat.
All right.
And at number 42 overall, the San Jose Sabercat select Xavier Hawkins, which is a cornerback from the London Royals, user Xavier Hawkins. CK said, "This is our first new user of this draft. Hawkins comes very highly regarded by our scouts, mainly for his locker room presence, and at this point in the draft, that's always a huge plus. Welcome to SJS."
Yeah, we have Xavier in London, and I think he's really motivated to enjoy the league, to contribute to the league, and is a really fun user to just have around and in conversations. I know he gets along very well with a couple of other London alums that are now in San Jose, so I hope he enjoys it there.
I believe he won an award or two in the DSFL awards, if I'm not mistaken. Good on them. Now we're getting into round 4. So with the 43rd pick, the Philadelphia Liberty have actually traded the pick. They traded to the Arizona Outlaws. I believe you're reading for them, Mojo?
Yeah, so Arizona trades up for this pick and trades away their season 31 round 3. And so with the 43rd pick, top of the 4th round, they select kicker punter J.J. Jameson Jr. from the Dallas Bird Dogs, user D. Garrett 32. Now, GM Crunk had this to say: DJ's last player was the Outlaws' former kicker, JJJJJ. So we know he is a great guy to have in the locker room. He expressed an interest in returning to us, so we made the trade to bring him home. We hope that JJJJJ Jr. will have a long and successful career in Arizona, just like his dad. And yes, I did count those J's, so hopefully I got it right. Welcome to Arizona, JJ Jameson Jr.
Yeah, we had a couple teams.
Mojo.
Yeah, we had a couple teams reach out for us when we put this pick on the block, and Z-Wiz got in touch with me, and so they really want to bring JJJJ Jr. back to Arizona. And like you said earlier, if we can make it happen where a player can go to a team they want to go to, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. With the 44th overall pick, Honolulu selects Ripoff Cheese Brand from user The Cheese. Honestly, this was the part of the draft that I was waiting for. We had traded for a lot of fourth rounders before, and this was just the beginning. Cheese is someone that I know pretty well, and I've talked to a lot, is a really nice user, and with our safeties getting older, we needed some replacements there as soon as possible, so we managed to get him here.
Yeah, we really love the cheese in London. And I think you've gotten huge value here. He was a little bit later create in this class, but has just really been a fantastic presence since joining. And so, Cheese, I really hope you enjoy Honolulu.
Another great render. Shaft singles. Love it. Love it. With the 45th overall pick, the Philadelphia Liberty select a trade. So do you want to take this one?
Yep. Honolulu receives the 45th overall pick, and Philadelphia's season 32 fourth round pick, and Philadelphia receives our season 32 third round pick. So for us, we had 3 fourth round picks, so we thought, why not just get another one? And we had another user that we are trying to get over here. We weren't sure if we were going to fall to other picks. And luckily for us, Philadelphia was open to a trade, so we made something happen.
Yeah, we had quite lengthy discussions regarding the fourth rounders, so we just couldn't make it work for the 43rd, but we made the 45th work, so happy that you could get one of the people that wanted to go to Honolulu. Like I said, can make it happen, we're going to make it happen. Worked out for everyone.
All right, with the 45th overall pick, Honolulu selects Caleb Watt, defensive end from Tijuana. So Spartan is a user that I know pretty well, and he also knows pretty well and other users on our team like Numbers and Orbiting Death, as he GMs them in other leagues. And they knew each other, and our room was really wanted to get him somewhere in this fourth round. And luckily he was available, so we decided to trade up and try to get him.
Bailey was absolutely heartbroken that you guys jumped one pick ahead of us to grab him.
You guys were exactly who we were thinking of when we knew that he was not going to fall to us.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this was a really clear decision to move up and get your man, and I don't think you would have gotten him any other way. So.
Okay, with the 46th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Chicago Butchers select running back Matthew Halford, user MTHalf14. We may have been a little bit upset that Spartan didn't fall to us, but we were more than happy to scoop up Halford here. This is another steal that we're expecting him to be a steal. He's low-key been earning pretty decently. We think that this could be the pick that we look back on and smile on from this draft. People were really jealous of the pick in GM chat, and we can understand why. Okay, it's me again. With the 47th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Austin Copperheads select QB Ricky Stanzi, user Rye. Rye is a hugely popular person in the community, and Austin was unable to pass up the opportunity to take him this late in the draft. They were extremely surprised to see him still on the board. They can't wait to have him in the Austin locker room, and they know that he'll be able to help the team continue to thrive. While this is a season or two earlier than we'd originally planned to pick up a quarterback, they still can't wait to work together with Rye to ensure he becomes a leading ISFL QB of the future. I would like to point out that his render is amazing. This is his second deep cut Chiefs player that he's chosen, the first one being Darrell Williams. Ricky Stanzi was a quarterback that never even played a snap for the Chiefs.
Or Iowa quarterback, I believe.
Yep, he was.
Yeah, Rye, he just played a couple seasons for us in Philadelphia with his former running back, Darrell Williams. And we had a few talks about, can we bring him in maybe and try to get him to switch positions, but we knew he had a wish to play quarterback, so we didn't want to, in the way of that dream. So good pick for Austin, be the quarterback of the future.
All right, with the 48th pick in the draft, San Jose selects Sego Hendricks, user Kendall Walski, running back from the Norfolk Seawolves. CK said that he originally created as a running back and he recently switched to linebacker for the Seawolves. So clearly, this is a team first kind of guy, and we always love those. Welcome to the team.
And with the 49th pick in the draft, the Orange County Otters select Bill Latide Jotreve, linebacker, Big Poppy. And Blassoon has this to say. He says, this is actually a real-life friend of one of our War Room members. We think that bringing him into OCO will help him enjoy the league much more.
That's an awesome render.
That's that's fantastic. Great work by the folks here doing this.
Yeah, this
And
one is
running theme.
by
Oh, go ahead.
Noanik or Noanik, and just a pleasure.
Like I said, running theme through this one is, teams seem to be getting the people that they really want and where the users want to go. So hopefully that represents, good growth in the league and continued user base.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to keep players and teams happy is how the league continues to grow and to be a fun place for everyone. And that's why we're here. So
Absolutely.
To continue with that trend of people going to where they want, with the 50th overall pick, Honolulu selects Defo, not Leroy from Dallas. I'm willing to bet that Kobe from the Frobe is the nicest user in this draft class, and I know him. I talk to him almost every day. A super nice person, and when I scouted him, he mentioned to me that he's been enjoying the Dallas locker room. So he figured if he's been enjoying the locker rooms, there's a pretty good chance we can get him to start earning a little bit for us as well. So I'm super happy to get them to our locker room and our team in general.
great.
And with the 51st pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Brent Suzuki, wide receiver, user NHL Beast Mode. And Berlin says, we believe that NHL Beast has the opportunity to be an excellent player. The scouting interview was good, and we hope that we can get him back on track with his goals. We also felt that after drafting so many quarterbacks before, we needed to have many wide receivers as well. Look out for Berlin to implement some innovative plays.
With the 52nd overall pick, Colorado selects Brian Taylor, offensive lineman from user Brian Taylor. We were honestly a bit shocked that Brian was still on the board at this point. While his CP might be low, he's been an active guy, and he's definitely made the entire Yeti locker room hungry with the food pictures that he has been posting. We know you're primarily a PPE guy, but we're so excited to bring it into Colorado and to help give you another locker room you can call home.
Colorado really stacking their O-line with this draft.
So with this one, we were really high on Brian Taylor, and we had a lot of guys like make the move up. So I was actually in talks with Arizona to try to get their pick, which is the next pick. And during the conversation, I saw that Colorado took Brian Taylor, and instantly I messaged Schwartz and said, what can we do to get this guy? And they said, nope, we got the steal here. We're too excited, and tough luck. So good pick, Colorado. I hope Brian has a good career. Yeti.
And with the 53rd pick in the season 30 draft, Arizona selects running back Jeremy Krause from the Norfolk Seawolves, user TwinsFan87. So again, I have notes from Crunk, who says, TwinsFan is another user who we liked a lot in scouting, so picking Krause up this late was a very easy decision for us. With another couple of seasons of development, we are very hopeful that he can turn into a weapon for us. We also really liked TwinsFan in Sarasota, and so I think that this is a great pick for Arizona. We never like picking right after them. And so I hope that TwinsFan, you really enjoy it in Arizona. And so with the 54th pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select
You want me to take this one, or do you want to take this one?
So we have traded back to next year's 4th round and Philadelphia received this pick. We also got $1 million in cap space. And so then it goes over to Philly's pick. And Philly selects.
The Philly selects a trade back with Sarasota. We basically voided out the trade. We mentioned earlier, there was user error. We thought Hexify was still on the board, so we had traded up with Sarasota to snatch that up. Turns out it wasn't the case, but luckily there are lovely folks in Sarasota, in Frost and Mojo, so we were able to work it out where we just kind of basically voided the pick out. So with that being said, I suck, and it's Sarasota's pick.
So
I think that sorry.
Go ahead.
I was
Just lay it on me. Come on.
I think I speak for all the GMs when I say that was my favorite part of the entire draft.
It was getting kind of down, it was getting late, and everyone's kind of like, oh, let's just finish this thing, and I think that really livened up the chat quite a bit.
Right.
And it was,
There's always got to be one.
Yeah,
late
I'm not
in
allowed
the-
to draft in season 30.
Yeah, it was late in the draft and also late at night when this was happening, so maybe contributed to some user error. But so with that wonderful trade, Z-Baxies, we have the 54th pick again, and we are really excited to select Jimmy Nardello, running back from the Dallas Bird Dogs, user Wearing a Bear. We do like running backs in Sarasota. And while Wearing a Bear hasn't been active recently, he was a very good earner when he was active earlier in the season. He's a multi-leaguer, and so we're hoping we can get him back to earning a bit and hanging out with us. I also know he's a really good cook, so please come and share some food photos in our locker room. We will love you forever, and so we really hope that you will come join us in Sarasota.
And with the 55th pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Yandu Yorikan, safety, user Eagle Eye. Berlin says, we hope to get him active in the league again. He was one of the few guys left that they had a conversation with in their scouting, so they wanted to pull him in. DeWalt also wanted me to say some very glowing things here about Berlin because it's their last pick, but I'm not going to do that.
All right, with the 56th overall pick, Honolulu selects Joseph Charles Raymond, defensive tackle from user address 245. So this was another user that I knew, and I think it's pretty obvious that Honolulu has been having offensive line struggles, and he was willing to come in and play the offensive line role after earning a little bit more TPE. So we're pretty happy to have him in as well.
That's awesome. And actually, this screen is misleading because
We're moving on to round 5.
we're moving on to round 5.
So, Baltimore with the 57th overall pick, first pick in round 5, select Hercules Kama Aloha from the Kansas City Coyotes, user PDX Baller. This was recreated from a couple seasons ago. PDX Baller, good user, add some depth to the Hawks' defensive line. I think they're going to get him, and they hope they keep him a bit more active this time around.
Come back, PDX. We miss you.
All right, with the 58th overall pick, Honolulu selects Dorfus Jimbo Jr. from user Scorp Extractor. I think everyone knows Scorp. Unfortunately, he went inactive, but we hope to see him back to continue on the famous Dorfus Jimbo line of players.
Yeah, come on back, Scorp.
All right, with the 59th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Baltimore Hawks select a trade. Want to take this one, CC?
Yeah. So we traded 1 mil cap for this pick. It's pretty simple. We love getting extra picks late in the draft because we've been able to nail some late ones. So anytime someone wants some of our cap and we have a surplus, we're willing to give that up. And with the 59th pick in the draft, the Chicago Butchers select wide receiver Tay Swizzle, user Pow Adrian. So anyone who knows the other Chicago GM, Bailey, knew that Tay Swizzle was very high on Chicago's list of targets. Bailey says that an alternate name of the Butchers is the Swifties, so this is a match made in heaven. Pow Adrian is big in other leagues, so earning shouldn't be a problem for him. He mentioned that he wasn't sure if he had the motivation to make it out of the out of the DSFL, but we're hoping that we're able to give him a role on the team that gives him that spark.
Thank you for avoiding the T-Swift puns this time around.
I really thought about it.
Oh, God. I would
Bailey
have left the stream.
Bailey told me it was a requirement, but I skipped it since I did enough for Zune.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're back on the clock again. With the 60th pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select linebacker Blake Foe Jr., user Alex F. Alex is a good user from PBE. Oles, our quarterback, told us that he actually remembers drafting Alex to the Butchers way back when he was a GM for the team, so that's kind of cool. We're excited to see what he can do in the ISFL. With the 61st pick in the ISFL draft, the Austin Copperheads select running back Electric Squirrel, user Darnell the Beast. Darnell originally created all the way back in Season 2, and so they're hoping they can get him back to earning and become an integral part of Austin for the future. After all, his player is a squirrel powered by electricity, so who wouldn't want that on their team? This is an amazing render. I love this.
If he sees if he sees this draft card, he has to come back to the league. Like, King Jelly, this is just wonderful.
Yeah. I like the fact that he's as tall as the building, so I think it's being implied that he's like taking over the city.
Yes.
It's a masterpiece.
All right, with the 62nd pick, the SJS selects DeAndre Henry, running back, and from the Portland Pythons, user Slick. CK said this is another user that hasn't updated in a bit, but still logs on to the forums from time to time. We're optimistic that we can maybe get something out of him once he's in our locker room. So please join and welcome to the team.
And with the 63rd pick in the draft, the Orange County Otters select Steve Atwater Jr., safety, user Squeak. And I don't have any specific notes about this user, but I'm just wondering if I'm one of the people in this league that's old enough to remember the actual Steve Atwater.
Yes.
Fair enough.
No, I'm in your age bracket. Good pick here. If you just release these late fifth rounders, just kind of hoping you can nab someone who will be a decent user, decent earner. Just hope you hit a home run somewhere.
I support the Steve Atwater as well. I'm old. With the 64th pick overall, the Yellowknife race select Ringo Starr, running back from Bondi Beach, user Rigno. As far as we know, Rigno is currently IA, but we are hoping to bring him back and hoping that the Bondi Beach ties will help. So come on back. And with the 65th pick, New Orleans selects JJ Slasher, user Pooter, which is a wide receiver from the Norfolk Seawolves. I believe that JJ is also currently inactive, so if you find your way back, I'm sure that you have a great home there in New Orleans.
Sid, are you reading Colorado?
Yeah, my screen got frozen. Okay, with the 66th overall pick, Colorado selects Joey McCarthy, kicker punter from user Joey Legend. One of the 2 picks left. We're hoping that Joey can come back to the league and enter Colorado to enjoy his time.
Great. And that means that with the final pick of the Season 30 ISFL Draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Sal Shaw, quarterback from the Norfolk Seawolves, user Sully12. And for scouting notes here, Crunk gave me a page of copy pasta. So I will just say, this is Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant, but you know you're never irrelevant to the Arizona Outlaws. So if you want to come back to the league, they would be happy to help you get back into activity. And with that, we concludes the ISFL Season 30 draft. I want to thank everyone who joined me here on the stream today: Cody, Fly, Sid, CC, Roche, all of the events team, Infinite, Moosey, and all of the others who have put in some fantastic graphics, renders. All of your draft cards will be posted on the forums for you. I highly recommend you go check it out. It's just one of the highlights of these off-season events. And congratulations to all of the players who are drafted into the ISFL. We hope that you love your new homes.
Perfect. Congrats to all those picked, and I'm excited for season 30.
Welcome to the big leagues, guys.
Congrats, everyone.
Yeah, congrats, rookies.
Take care and have a great night.
Yeah.
Bye.
We are done.